Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a flawless foundation routine, and this is just all the steps I do in the morning to give my face that flawless foundation look. So like there's like cleanser and then moisturizer, eye cream, lip balm, and then to get onto like the makeup part of it. So I'm just going to show you my flawless foundation. No bronzer, no highlight, no eyes, no lips, no blush. Just foundation, concealer and all the steps that I do to get my flawless foundation look. Let's get started. Firstly, every morning I use a cleanser. Me, I just don't like the idea of going and washing my face with like cleanser and toner in the morning. That's like a nighttime thing to get off makeup or the dirt from the day off your face. You just cleanse it and tone it. With me being 18, to tone my face every single morning and night, strip away the chemicals in my face. So I go for something more light and simple. This is the Clarins One Step Facial Cleanser with orange extract. It renews radiance and it's for all skin types. So if you're oily, you can use this. If you're combination, normal, dry, sensitive, all skin types can use this. There's a reason I like this, because sometimes I'm dry, sometimes I'm oily, sometimes I'm normal. So this you just have to shake up and it becomes, because you've got a bit up here and then you have the bit down here, and then you just shake it. You just comes like that. And you grab a cotton pad. This is just a normal cotton pad. Just put a bit on the cotton pad. Wipe it all over the skin. This can also get off makeup from the previous day. And all the way down underneath the neck. And just looks a bit dirty afterwards. And then once that's done, I move on to moisturising, because that's a one step. Got cleanser and toner in it, but it's not such a heavy toner that it won't strip away. Then I move on to eye cream, and the eye cream I use, I switch between two, but the eye cream I'm using today is the Bobbi Brown Hydrating Cream. It just looks like this. I keep the little cap on it. I don't use much of this because all I do is just dab my finger in. It's a very thick eye cream, so you don't need much of it. And I just do it in the inner corner and then underneath. And then bring it down a bit. Just repeat that with the other eye. Just do it all the way, pretty much where you put your concealer. Because this will help the concealer not crease and not look cakey or dry or anything. But it also will decrease the lines underneath my eye after a while. This eye cream was a really good investment. It was really worth the money and I like it. Then moving on to moisturizer. In the morning I use a day cream and in the night I use a night cream. But seeing as it's daytime, I've got this Nivea Light Moisturizing Day Cream. This is for normal to combination skin. I'm pretty sure they have a different moisturizer in Nivea for each different skin type. But I am normal to combination most of the time. I'm usually normal because I've got like normal here, but then combination because I've got oily. But sometimes I can get dry, so then I just get like a little bit and just put that all over my face. A little bit more. And then I try and leave this for 10-15 minutes. So I'll just wait for that. But then in between, after I've done like all the moisturizer on my face, I use a lip balm. And usually I go for the Locust, I'm not really sure, Pore ointment, and I just sort of apply that to the lips. And I don't sort of do this generously. I heavily apply it to the lips. Try and reapply it every hour or so. But that is my steps to cleanse my face in the morning. Then so now I'll just wait another like 10 minutes and then I'll get onto the foundation. Sometimes in the mornings, before I do my makeup, I will pluck my eyebrows just to get sort of like the little stray hairs. To sort of clean them up. Or I will just sit and watch some TV or something while I wait. So, onto the face. So, before I start doing my makeup, I will go and wet my beauty blender. Sorry, it's so disgusting and dirty. Haven't cleaned it yet. It's been wet, and I'm just, after I wet it, I grab some tissues. I got 2, and then I just wrap them around and squeeze most of the moisture out because this is now a bit wet. So now there's not as much moisture in the beauty blender as there was beforehand. But before I use that, I grab a primer. And today my primer is the Stila One Step Correct. I usually use this when I have like sort of a little bits of red, or the moisturizer didn't seem to have sunk into my skin as much as I wanted it to. Just grab that and just put it in circular motions on my cheeks. It's just where the most of my redness is. On my nose. Chin. And my forehead. Then if I've got a little bit left over, I'll just sort of put some more in places like my nostrils, the outside of my forehead. So that's my primer. Usually I leave that for like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on what I feel like doing. Usually I'll do my primer, which is either this or something else, and then we'll grab like my eye products and do my eyes. Sometimes I'll do my eyes before I do my foundation, but today I'm just going to just sit and grab out some of my eye products that I might want to use today. Okay, now that the primer has sunk in, I'm going to go on to foundation. And today I've decided to use a sort of light to medium coverage foundation. It's buildable, but it's the Chanel Vitalumiera Aqua foundation. And I've got the shade 10 Beige. You just gotta shake it a bit. Then I grab my damp beauty blender. Dab it on my skin. And make sure all your hair is behind your ears. Which is the reason I use this hairband. But you just dab the foundation. I usually start on one cheek, and then we'll eventually move on to the other one and then do the centre of my face. But today I just feel like going all the way down and then across to the chin, and then to the other cheek. And then just apply some more. Just blend that into the hairline, into the ear, down the neck. And just sort of build it. Now we just blend that into the hairline. I always use the big rounded side for my foundation and then the pointed side for my concealer. Okay, and then once that's done, we just grab our concealer. And today I'm going to be using a really full coverage concealer, and it is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. And this is also really good if you're gonna apply your foundation first. You can also apply your concealer on your eyelids as like a primer. So then we just grab a little bit onto this finger. I always apply this onto my finger so then I can just rub my fingers together or dab them together and then apply it in the inner corner, out. And I bring it in like a triangle Then I just do the same with the other eye. And then whatever is left on the finger, we just apply that on my nose and a little bit on my forehead, Cupid's bow, and chin. And now with my finger, I just blend out the concealer. This concealer, it's sort of easy to you just sort of blend it out a little bit more than what it is to get it into the shape you really want it. Just apply it to some of it to the lid that's like left on your finger, so you don't waste any of the product. Now we just grab our beauty blender and blend it out. Blend it out on the eyelid as well. Gives the underneath your eyes look more highlighted. And this helps your nose with the whole contouring thing. And on your forehead, it just sort of helps with a highlight. Now to set that all in place, like all of that what we just did, I usually use a setting powder. It sort of varies on what I feel like, but recently I've been using these two shades here. This is my MAC contouring and blush and highlighting palette. I sort of made this myself. These two here are shaping powders. They're the Pro shaping powders. This one on top is Emphasize, and this one on the bottom is Soft Focus. And I just mix those two together, which gives it sort of like a banana-y colour. And then just I pat that on underneath my eye. I pat, I do not rub. And then I bring it down. I try and do it everywhere that I just put the concealer. And when I'm going for a full flawless foundation look, I grab a pressed powder to set the whole makeup, but it's also one of these pressed powders like this MAC Studio Fix or the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. These usually give a bit more coverage, but this Studio Fix has more coverage than the Mineralized Skin Finish. The Mineralized Skin Finish is usually just for setting the face with like a little bit of coverage if you need it. But this is for full-on coverage. This is actually what I use when I need to touch up my makeup. And then I just grab a large powder F30 brush from Sigma, dab that everywhere except where we just set the concealer. And I bring it down to my neck, so that's all set in place as well. And then if I think it needs more coverage, I'll just pat some more on as well. And that is my flawless foundation routine. There's nothing really more that goes with my flawless foundation routine. Sometimes I'll use like a heavier foundation and a softer powder, like I'll show you. Because sometimes I will use this CoverGirl's Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, and then I'll use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. And these two are just sort of, this will just make this foundation stick and like not look greasy after a while or anything, but they're a good combination. Because the CoverGirl's Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation is quite a heavy one, that's the reason I don't go for a heavy powder like the Studio Fix with that foundation. You want it to look like you're wearing foundation, but you don't want it to feel like you're wearing foundation. So if you do too heavy products, like heavy foundation, heavy powder, it's going to cake and just look terrible. That's the reason I go for a light foundation and a light powder. And then usually once I've finished my foundation, I will just grab the purple ointment again, just apply it. And once I've done that, I'll grab some hand sanitizer and I'll clean my hands. This just sort of helps not decontaminate things. But anyway, this is my flawless foundation routine. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it was informative, interesting, not too boring, or yeah. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channels so don't miss out on any of the videos. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks guys.